I think at the end of the Tinubu administration, every Nigerian deserves to be given a certificate of survival and endurance, because we are going through a lot, and my thoughts and prayers are with all of Nigerians. Electing President Tinubu as president was like going for a November Black Friday purchase with a condition that you buy one, you get three free. So you get the father as president who is dishing out incompetent leadership, insecurity is ravaging the country, battered economy, corruption is in high heavens. Then you have the office of the first son, moving with security that, according to Professor Wole Soyinka, should be able to quell tensions in a country like Benin Republic. Then you have the office of the first daughter, who can travel to a state like Benin to prevail on the monarch, to decide who she wants to be installed as Babaloja or Yaloja. And then you have the office of the wife of the president, where we can budget 1.5 billion to purchase of SUVs in the office of the president. So across board, it is a tale of recklessness, and it is what public office has become. If this government had invested half of the time they use in politicking, in governance, they would have probably done well. But this government is the only government that came in 2023, and by 2023 there were billboards of re-election for 2027, meaning politics started immediately they got into office. Now the question will be, why is everybody defecting to the ruling party? That should be the question. Senator Henry Seraki Dixon rightly said it. All they need is for federal fraud. Let INEC help you to write results. Let the judiciary, you know you're able to buy them. Then you know that you control law enforcement and all of that. Because if you are with the people and the people are with you, you do not need governors to be with you before you can win an election. But unfortunately, that is the Nigerian situation. It is a survival, and that is why I continue to say that Nigerians must make 2027 the people's opposition, because the only confidence of the current ruling party is in a compromised INEC and a compromised judiciary. If free and fair elections are held today, before 1 o'clock on election day, the defeat of the current government will be announced.
And it won't matter what party you're in.
It does not matter. If the current government is serious and knows that they are truly popular, let President Tinubu come out and commit to free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections with electoral reforms to know that the vote of the people will count, because there is an antecedent. But today, what do we have rather? An INEC chairman that conducted an election that was seemingly spoken to have, a group of European observers that what they came to do was a crime watch and not an electoral monitoring. After receiving more than 313 billion, Mahmoud Yakubu said there was a glitch. Guess what? He is being nominated to become an ambassador a few weeks after retirement, after spending 10 years in office. So all of what you are seeing, the shenanigans you are seeing, it is simple. If the people are not with you, let us buy the power brokers and the gatekeepers in the state. So what happens? It is able to play the way Rivers State went to in 2023. What exactly happened with the Rivers State result? Because do not forget, 2015, Jonathan versus Buhari, Jonathan won Rivers with 1.4 million votes. 2019, Atiku versus Buhari, Atiku won with more than 420,000 votes. 2023, Obi, Atiku, Kwankwaso and Tinubu, the winner of that election, won with less than 200,000 votes. What happened in Rivers State? Did the electorate shrink or did they increase in 8 years? So it is the hatchet jobs that politicians are ready to carry out. That is why everybody is fleeing and potting, so that if you cannot control the people, then ensure that we take every step to control that so-called criminal structure to subvert the will of the people. So for Rivers State, unfortunately, the real victims is not Wike, not Fubara, not the sole administrator that has done his own and has gone. It is the Rivers State people. Until we come to a consensus where power comes directly from the people, where the people chose their leaders, we will continue to see these shenanigans.
Okay. Let's see. What were you saying, Peter?
No, he's talking about good things are happening in the APC, and that is why people are defecting. So we can just take a very good example of the things happening like in Kebbi and Katsina, where school children were abducted, and then the governor of the state is telling the president that few hours to when the children were abducted, somebody gave orders to withdraw security from that place, and they want to know who gave the orders. Until date, the president and commander-in-chief is not able to know who ordered troops out of the government secondary school in Kebbi State, or in places like Katsina, where security and insecurity officials are holding peace deals, and the terms of those meetings are being put together by the bandits. In fact, in Katsina, according to the report, one of the bandit leader, Jankari, instructed that the peace deal, the police officers who are coming should not come in uniform, should come in mufti. But guess what? The bandit leader came in the uniform of a slain police officer, ACP Dayi Aminu, to that so-called peace deal. That is where they are having state stakeholder meetings. So those are the good things that are happening under the APC government. But let us not be fooled. The same issue that is happening because everybody continues to say PDP, PDP. What exactly is going on in the PDP? What is the role of the serving minister for FCT in the PDP? What are the issues between the FCT minister and the Rivers State governor? So the former governor and the incumbent governor had issues, and instead of prevailing upon your subject, President Tinubu decided to illegitimately suspend an elected governor, declaring a state of emergency for so-called reasons of insecurity. But somehow, more than 300 children were kidnapped from Niger State, and it had not been able to be a reason for why there should be a state of emergency. For in Katsina State, continuous banditry attacks and killings. And even I think my colleague is from Benue State, where more than 200 persons were slaughtered in Yelwata. The president visited it and could not visit the host community or the ground zero of the incident because the roads to that place were not good. This is the unfortunate leadership and the shameful kind of conduct that we glorify as leadership, and that is why everybody is moving to the center. What exactly is at the center? A center of terrorism, of banditry, of a failed economy, of active politics, even when people are being killed. That is why the president can order troops to so-called defend democracy and constitutional authority in Benin Republic when terrorists are running rogue in his own country.